Lemonada.
Ultra running shoes are all about space. The space to go further, to feel better, to do something you never thought possible. And this space starts with Ultra Fit. Unlike traditional running shoes, Ultra Fit gives toes more room to move naturally, so every step is strong, balanced, and comfortable. Whatever you're lacing up for, stay out there with Ultra. Shop now at ultrarunning.com. That's ALTRA running.com.
This episode is brought to you by Welch's Fruit Snacks. Back to school season can be tough on parents, but choosing a snack you and your kids can both get behind doesn't have to be. Stock up on Welch's Fruit Snacks, made with whole fruit and now made with no artificial dyes. It's a snack kids already love and one you can feel good about giving them. Go back to school with Welch's Fruit Snacks, now made with no artificial dyes.
Hello and welcome to Happier, a podcast where we talk about how to make our lives happier, healthier, more productive, and more creative. This week, it's our 600th show. What a milestone! Yay! Yay! Yeah. I'm Gretchen Rubin. For the 600th time, I am a writer who studies happiness, good habits, and human nature. I'm in New York City in my little home office, and joining me today from Los Angeles and on this very long journey, it is my sister, Elizabeth Kraft.
That's me, Elizabeth Kraft, a TV writer and producer living in Los Angeles. And oh my God, Gretch, I can't believe we have done 599, soon to be 600 episodes.
Yes.
I remember when we recorded our pilot.
I know. It's amazing. And these are only the Wednesday ones. We are not even counting the mores. I'm not counting the little happiers. We're not counting the bonus episodes. We've been Wednesday from the jump. So it's 600 of those, what we consider the main episode. I have to say, listeners have been sending in for the last several weeks what has stuck with them the most. And it is so moving to me to hear from everybody about what has really resonated with them. Did you find that?
So moving. I always love hearing from listeners every week.
Yeah.
But yeah, hearing what over the years has stuck with people.
Yes.
And how it's actually impacted their lives in real ways.
Yes.
Things like moving or having a baby or getting a dog or reconnecting with an old friend or not losing their sunglasses, whatever it may be.
Exactly.
It is so moving.
Yeah, it's really gratifying to think that the things that we talk about really do help people make their lives happier, which is what it's all about.
Well, Gretchen, it certainly made me happier, our 600 episodes. And the listeners are the biggest part of that, obviously.
Absolutely. We have learned so much. The people that have benefited the most, I'm sure, are the two of us because we're just in it every day, trying everything. So let's jump in because it really is interesting to hear. And I think that probably the ideas that resonated most with other people, if you haven't heard them already, that probably might be useful to you because there's a lot of repeats. So certain things do seem to really strike a chord. Lisa said, the one thing that has helped me the most is Power Hour. A short, concentrated time on a project has been really beneficial for me. Thank you. Several people mentioned Power Hour, which we haven't talked about in a long time, Elizabeth. Maybe we should go back to that because a lot of people mentioned Power Hour.
Sarah and I now do our Killer Bee work hour, our Zoom hangout on Fridays, where people come and basically do a Power Hour. They do whatever they need to do.
It's great.
Daniel said, I started listening from episode 1 and recommend Happier to so many people. Well, thank you, Daniel.
Thank you.
One thing that I found to be true and that I keep coming back to is the importance of feeling connected to others as the one key element of leading a happy life.
Oh, that's great. Yes, that's a huge theme. Mandy said, one idea that I often enjoy sharing with others is the idea of the to-do list. When a friend is feeling overwhelmed with, I have so much to do, I like to encourage them to end their day with a to-do list and celebrate all that they did do that day, rather than focus on what still needs to be done tomorrow. And outer order is inner calm has become a personal mantra and pulled me out of anxious or depressed moments more time than I can count. Oh, that's so great.
Yes. Tanya said, just one? Don't do that to me. I found your podcast in 2022 and instantly became a completist. The technique I use most is Power Hour. The saying I use most is outer order, inner calm. The hack I use most is reframing. Today, July 1st, I am focused on Halfway Day. I love a catalyst, and I am most excited to schedule a reading retreat for this winter.
Oh, that's so fun. Excellent. John said, I felt the most connected to you and Elizabeth when you talk about the importance of your families, from your husbands and children to, of course, your father. Happiness stems from whomever you call your family. Oh, that's a beautiful thought.
Yes, and I love that we get to talk about our loved ones so much on the podcast. It's nice to shout them out and to kind of analyze it and reflect on it. And it's, of course, great whenever we can reflect on Dad.
Yeah, and we got so much helpful suggestions and observations around his death. That was so helpful to us.
Diana says, pairing, scheduling is life. Not making a decision is the same as making a decision. Gold stars, celebrating the minor holidays, family tradition, reading. So that's quite a list. Yeah. I've listened since day one. Your voices are as familiar as an old friend and bring me much comfort and peace. Meeting Gretchen is still one of my highlights.
That's so fun. I love that. Dana says, I'm an obliger, and this made me realize why some of my friends can join a gym, but that doesn't work for me. There's no accountability, of course. I can sign up for spin or yoga classes, but only if there is a reasonable time limit, like 12 classes in 3 months, and anything left over is forfeited. Also, restarting things and hitting goals. I was a runner on and off for decades. My daughter and I decided to do a half marathon. After we ran it, I told myself I could take some time off from running. I never restarted running. I couldn't figure out how that was possible, but when you mentioned that sometimes restarting is harder than starting, it all made sense. Not that I ever started running again, but it did give me clarity. Third, reframing. I don't like to exercise, but I reframed it from I have to exercise to I get to exercise. I think about how I would feel if I had a broken leg, shoulder, and had to sit home all day. And I am grateful that I can go for that walk or long bike ride. I am grateful that I worked hard all my life and saved my money so that now I can pay for a personal trainer twice a week and not feel guilty about it. She's talking about being a obliger. If you do not know about the 4 tendencies, go to my website, look up the 4 tendencies, take the quiz, all will be revealed.
Rosie says, I keep thinking of Gretchen mentioning what gives her, quote, that America feeling, and have been making a list. It brings me happiness to have things that allow me to celebrate.
Oh, I love that. That's a series in the Little Happier episodes where I talk about my America feeling. And I love writing those so much. So it made me very happy to know that they really struck a chord with Rosie. Elizabeth said, first, tackle that one hard task. For me, this is decluttering my house. And while I still have a lot to do, I have seen noticeable progress. 2, I started making my bed every day using your pairing strategy. I can't get dressed until I do. So she can't get dressed until she makes her bed. So pairing. 3rd, I also recently started listening to the show from the beginning again so I can catch the episodes I've missed. Sometimes I don't realize I'd already listened to one until partway through, which is fine, and brings me to the second reason I finally wrote. Yesterday, I listened to episode 36 where Gretchen gave a gold star to her husband Jamie, responding to a friend's email faux pas by writing back, "We've all done it." Not only did I clearly remember that story, I have used that phrase myself on more than one occasion and have even shared it with friends. P.S. The absolute best thing I've learned so far is that when Elizabeth was a little girl, her favorite game was playing Divorce Attorney. Which, Elizabeth, that is a very, very funny detail about you, especially since you didn't even really know what a divorce attorney did.
I know. Well, I figured it out. I divided the assets. I wore my
a lot
gold
of talking
sandals.
on the phone.
Yeah.
Slamming down the phone.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
So funny.
Yeah.
And Gretchen, I also use Jamie's "We've all done it." Numerous times a year
It's
that will
so
come
comforting when somebody says, "Wow, I really screwed up." It's most comforting to say, not "it doesn't matter," not "I don't care," not "nobody notices," not "everybody will forget it tomorrow." We've all done it.
Yep.
Good words.
Monica says, you have asked an incredibly difficult question. For me, it is everything that is now different in my life thanks to you both. I enjoy so many of the tools you have given us over the years, the ladder tips, the scheduling is life, knowing Knowing your and your loved one's tendency and how to honor it, right challenge, and so many others. But the most important thing I have learned from you both is grace and generosity. That's so nice.
That's so
the way
nice.
you listen, the way you share, the way you care, the way you model your familial love for all these hard to measure gifts. That is what keeps me coming back. Wow. Well, that's very moving.
Yeah. Thank you, Monica. That's beautiful. Jen said, the Halloween photo display. I took the idea you mentioned to heart and put up a display for Halloween, birthdays, first day of school, and last day of school. It's easy to do with the clip style photo displays and makes these important days feel extra special. One rule I use is I don't put away one display until I've printed out the current year's photo. That way, I always have them ready to go when the next year rolls around and I don't have to race around to find the picture. That's a very good idea because it's fun to put out the ones you already have, but identifying and printing out the new one is a little bit of a hassle. So this way you make sure that you always are current.
Yes. Another good use of pairing.
Another good use of pairing. Yes. You can't put away the old ones until you add the latest one.
And then another Jen says, if something will take less than a minute, do it immediately. Also, look behind when leaving a room, getting off public transport, etc.
Yeah.
She says, I have also had an ongoing reading streak dating back to the original Read 21 and 21 challenge. I started a little before 2021 and have not missed a day of reading. At the time of writing, I'm at 20. Oh my goodness. Okay. At the time of writing, I'm at 2,022 consecutive days of reading.
Can we just say,
yes.
Well done.
She says, I love reading. Too many books and not enough time, and not breaking the chain motivates me to keep going too. Wow.
This is one thing that has been really interesting with people's responses is that so many people say, I love to read. The challenge is making time to read. And so everything that we've done, which is about making time to read, making a place to read, reading retreat, all these different ways to get at that are helpful. But 2,022 straight days, that is brilliant.
Yes, incredible. All right, Gretch, coming up, we'll hear more things that have resonated with listeners. But first, this break.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. You've heard us talk about BetterHelp for a long time, but one thing we haven't talked about very much is just how much people seem to appreciate the service once they start using it. If you're curious, you don't have to take our word for it. You can visit betterhelp.com/reviews and see real customer reviews that are updated every day. It's interesting to scroll through and see what people are saying about their own experiences.
BetterHelp has an average live therapy session rating of 4.9 out of 5 based on more than 1.7 million client session reviews, and more than 6 million people have used BetterHelp globally. If you're thinking about getting started, you answer a few questions, get matched with a therapist based on your needs, and if it's not the right fit, you can switch therapists at any time. See the reviews, see what stands out, and see if BetterHelp is right for you. Visit betterhelp.com/Gretchen Rubin. That's BetterHelp.com/Gretchen Rubin.
I get genuinely excited when I can recommend Lola blankets because they have become one of my favorite gifts to give. I originally bought one thinking it would make the perfect present, and the first time someone wrapped themselves in it, their reaction was like, this is amazing. That's when I realized it wasn't just my favorite blanket, it was going to be my go-to gift. It is unbelievably soft, and every guest who comes over wants to know where it's from. I ended up ordering another one for myself.
Yes, my Lola is my nap blanket, Gretchen.
Love a nap blanket.
Christmas came early this year at Lola Blankets. During their Christmas and August sale, you can get 50% off site-wide, free shipping, and a free $50 gift card with your purchase. If you've been waiting for the perfect time to get a Lola blanket, this is it. Just head to lolablankets.com and use code HAPPIER50 at checkout to shop Lola's biggest sale of the year before it's gone. After you purchase, they'll ask where you heard about them. Please support our show and let them know we sent you. Wrap yourself in luxury with Lola blankets.
I definitely have a tendency to wear my glasses longer than I probably should. But, once I find a pair I like, I just keep fixing the little things instead of replacing them because new glasses can get expensive fast. That's why I was so impressed with Zenni. I picked out a classic pair with clean modern frames that look much more expensive than they were. The whole process was incredibly easy. You just choose your frames, enter your prescription, customize your lenses. They arrive at your door.
What I love is that Zenni makes it affordable to have more than one pair. They have stylish prescription glasses and sunglasses starting at under $30. I love my prescription Zenni sunglasses. I've been wearing them every week to hike. That scratched up pair you have has done its job. Upgrade today with Zenni. Go to zenni.com/podcast and use code podcast15 for 15% off your first order plus free shipping on all U.S. orders over $65. The styles sell out, so don't sit on it. That's zenni.com/podcast, promo code podcast15.
Okay, we're back with more highlights from listeners. Leanne said, without a doubt, it's your question, are you a tree person or are you a book person, has been the most life-changing for me. You gave me permission to be a book without apology. And for listeners who don't remember, a book person is a person who likes to see their life as many chapters. They like to turn the page and start something new. They like to reinvent themselves. And tree people like to stay rooted in one place. They like to grow and flourish, but from one place. Leanne writes, I fully inhabit my current chapter and find keeping up with people from previous chapters burdensome. It doesn't mean that I didn't value those friendships in their time. I just can't carry it all forward with me. Large group text threads with friends from 30 years ago are too much for me. I bowed out of one a few months ago. It was even on my 26 for 26 list because it weighed on me so, and I immediately felt lighter. I keep up with just a handful of old friends. Having fewer makes each one dearer to me. Meanwhile, the people I'm doing life with now, in a different state and in a different season of life, they are my people. They are my here and now, which describes how I see my life. I am a book person. Other smaller things that stand out as being especially helpful from your podcast and books, learning that I'm an abstainer. Oh my goodness, thank you. That's about whether you like to abstain or moderate when you're facing a temptation. And the shoe stretching tool a listener recommended. My feet thank her and you. Sometimes, Elizabeth, it is the big insight into your nature. And sometimes it's the little things like you can stretch your shoes.
Yes. And you and I are both tree people.
We are tree people. And I will say, my husband Jamie is a tree person. We live on the same block as where he grew up. You do not even cross the street to get to my in-laws apartment. That is about as tree as you can get. I'm there for it.
Okay, Vicky says, the yearly goal setting has certainly changed how much I accomplish within a year. And as the years have progressed, I have become better at identifying goals that I can be successful in completing and that have great meaning to me. I think the yearly theme is brilliant. I hold myself accountable for reading, writing, moving, etc., using the checkoff calendar in the printables section of your website. I have a podcast, Ask. I will turn 72 this summer. I know that you and Elizabeth have an amazing mom and mothers-in-law, and that Sarah Fain talks positively about her stepmother. I wondered if you would consider having these women on your podcast to talk about what they do to live happier lives as they age. I think it could be a wonderful conversation for some of your listeners. Oh, Gretchen, would we love to do that? Yes, we would.
Yes, we would. They don't want to do it. And one of the things about being happier and being a happier family member is that we take no for an answer. We would love to have them on, but they choose not to participate, which is fine. Not everybody wants to sit in front of a mic. Yeah.
They listen every week very dutifully, but yes, we have asked.
Yeah. Kathy said, one of the things that has stuck with me most was inspired by your email newsletter, 5 Things Making Me Happy This Week. Each Friday, my husband and I look back over the previous week and record in a little notebook 5 things that have made us happy. Even on challenging weeks, we both find 5 things to share with each other. This has helped us tune into what we enjoy together and what we enjoy separately. What a gift to give to each other. I have started giving a 5 Things Making Me Happy notebook to engaged couples at their bridal showers. I think it's a great way to start off a marriage. Repeat the things making each other happy, and your married life will be happy too. Well, I love that Kathy has taken that idea and built it into something else. That's part of what has been really fun about seeing people's responses, is that often they'll take an idea and put a twist on it or do it in a way that we didn't think of and find their own happiness tool. And that's so fun to see.
Yeah. And it is a great way to have conversation with your spouse. It's not just about logistics or what is for dinner. I love this.
And by the way, if you want to sign up for Five Things Making Me Happy newsletter, it's free, it's weekly. It's so fun to write that. I'm so glad she enjoys it. It's so much fun for me to do. I'll put the link in the show notes.
Great. Next, Gretch, Amy says, I wanted to write when your father passed to express my condolences and also to tell you about something I did when my father passed, which was an idea from you. I was struggling to come up with an appropriate ode to him for our family's memorial dinner where we'd all agreed to say a few words. My memories of him weren't all perfectly rosy, so I didn't want to be disingenuous by writing a laudatory speech. Instead, I wrote a 5 senses portrait, and it was just the thing. I was able to recall so many wonderful moments that resonated with others in the room. For sound, I remember him playing very loud classical music every weekend morning growing up. For taste, his famous Caesar salad. For smell, his delicious omelets for weekend breakfasts, and so on. It's been such an amazing tool on trips as well. I like to do 5 senses portraits of cities. Nothing else quite evokes a sense of being back in these places. The smell of leather boutiques in Florence, and of course, all the incredible lunchtime aromas coming from windows in small Greek and Italian alleys.
I love this.
That is so nice.
I love the 5 senses portrait and talking about the way people put their own spin on things. I had not anticipated that many people would use a 5 senses portrait as a way to hang on to memories of someone who has died.
Yeah.
And I did that when our father died. It's a very powerful way of feeling like you're hanging on to like their concrete presence.
Yeah.
And I can imagine that like if you're with a bunch of people, it's just fun to reminisce about the way we always laugh about our dad's pancakes he made just like Mrs. Bargel's. It's a taste memory that we share and is so core to our memories of our father. So
yes, and
I love that.
A very elegant way for her to handle the situation.
Yes, very elegant. Rel writes, my sister and I have done the yearly theme and the 26 for 26 exercise together for several years, and each have a lot of fun designing and then sharing our lists and checking in periodically. Neither of us ever found New Year's resolutions particularly compelling, but for some reason, whimsy, this reframing has us very excited about completing our goals. For this year's 26 for 26, I am making a list of 26 LOLs, things that make me laugh, and one of the very first ones I added was the pet egg incident. It makes me laugh every time I think of it. Incidentally, I also bought a pet egg and love it. I would not at all be insulted to receive one as a gift. Elizabeth, can you give a brief reminder of the pet egg incident?
Yes.
And I'll post a link to the episode where that appeared because that is like an all-time highlight.
Yes. We were talking about gifts and I said maybe I shouldn't have given my mother-in-law the gift of an electric pet egg. Was I suggesting she had bad feet? And it was just funny because it was just such a dumb gift. What was I thinking? It's like I wanted it for myself. So it didn't occur to me how it could be received. It's just get something for somebody that you want for yourself is what I was thinking.
What's so funny is you were so innocent and just sort of like, kind of it was dawning on you in the moment of our conversation, like, wait, maybe this came across the wrong way. And then every time you and I are together, we just always somehow end up in like a large drugstore buying this or that. And I'm always holding up the pet egg and I take a picture of you with the pet egg. So it's become this inside joke. So it's so fun that Rel picked up on that. And then she continues, my brother and I find the exhortation to figure out what works for oneself, not generic advice or what works for someone else, particularly helpful, so much so that we will periodically say, be Gretchen, as a way to remind ourselves to, in fact, be ourselves. We also remind each other to look behind you, Gretchen, whenever leaving a place, and this has saved us each several times. I am particularly famous in my family for leaving things behind. At least 3 times in college, I left my flute on the train to Salt Lake City, returned every time. Wow, that's a miracle. And in Bolivia, I left my wallet full of cash in a cab. I ran after it and I found the wallet complete with cash right there on the seat. I joked that I never learned the lesson to be more careful because it always works out well for me. And mishaps make the best memories anyway. Oh, that's the secret of adulthood. Yes, many people mention the look behind you, which is just a good example of Sometimes it's the simple things. Rel says, finally, I really appreciated the simple fact of Gretchen and Elizabeth saying that reading is their favorite thing to do for fun. Somehow, even though I was reading under the covers when I was supposed to be in bed and by the passing headlights of cars at night until it made me car sick as a child, pay attention to what you love to do at 10, I have always felt that reading was a kind of boring, good for you thing to do, not something you just do for fun. But I love reading. Thank you for helping me truly understand that and get even more enjoyment out of it as I am more aware of the pleasure I'm getting from it in the moment. Oh, that's great. Yeah, more reading for all.
Yes, more reading. Okay, Rachel said, if I had to pick just one thing that has impacted me the most, it would have to be your love of whimsy. I had really lost that part of me as I've reached further in my 30s and 40s. You continue to inspire me to bring it back. I recently bought myself a mug covered in strawberries as I lean into them as representation of June as my favorite month. I started adding emojis to the titles of notes on my phone. I started a weekly race with my kids to see if they can buckle themselves in the car faster than I can return a grocery cart. I write haikus in my mind on my walk to work, and I started watercoloring. It's amazing how fast, yet too slowly to notice, we lose ourselves. You remind me every week that I have the ability to take control of my life.
I love these. Oh, I love that she's watercoloring too. That's great.
Yeah.
Teresa says, it is the concept of having personal policies. This has helped me tremendously in my life as someone who has a lot of things going on and can struggle with decision fatigue. It has also helped me be more organized with my life and just eliminate a lot of internal conflict. For example, there was a period where I was trying to avoid getting takeout whenever I had food at home. So I established a personal policy that I would only get takeout twice a week. This is just one example about having a personal policy as a concept that has really helped me cement this and other things in my mind. This to me is a good example of like, sometimes a word or a phrasing or an approach will really sticks with them. And then other people, they're like, oh, it doesn't really land. So it's interesting to see.
Yes. Okay, Gretch, coming up, we'll hear from more listeners as we continue to celebrate our 600th episode. Yay! Still can't believe it. Yay! The first of spring.
Between diets, workouts, and endless advice, it's hard to know what actually works for weight loss and what's worth your time. That's why Hers offers access to an affordable range of FDA-approved GLP-1 medications that now includes the Wegovy pill and the Wegovy pen. It helps you regulate your appetite, eat less, and keep weight off. Plus, Wegovy is the first ever GLP-1 for weight loss, so there are no needles needed.
Everything is 100% online through Hers. You'll connect with a licensed provider who will determine if treatment is right for you. Ready to reach your goals? Visit forhers.com/happier to get personalized, affordable care that gets you. That's FORHERS.com/happier. Forhers.com/happier. Weight loss by Hers is not available in all 50 states. Wegovy is a registered trademark of Novo Nordisk AS. To get started and learn more, including important safety information, Wegovy clinical study information, and restrictions, visit forhers.com.
I definitely have a tendency to wear my glasses longer than I probably should. But, once I find a pair I like, I just keep fixing the little things instead of replacing them because new glasses can get expensive fast. That's why I was so impressed with Zenni. I picked out a classic pair with clean modern frames that look much more expensive than they were. The whole process was incredibly easy. You just choose your frames, enter your prescription, customize your lenses. They arrive at your door.
What I love is that Zenni makes it affordable to have more than one pair. They have stylish prescription glasses and sunglasses starting at under $30. I love my prescription Zenni sunglasses. I've been wearing them every week to hike. That scratched up pair you have has done its job. Upgrade today with Zenni. Go to zenni.com/podcast and use code podcast15 for 15% off your first order plus free shipping on all U.S. orders over $65. The styles sell out, so don't sit on it. That's zenni.com/podcast, promo code podcast15.
I always feel like August is a good time to reset before the fall season, which is so busy. I don't necessarily want a whole new wardrobe. I just want a few pieces that make getting dressed easier. That is why I have become such a fan of Quince. Their clothes are beautifully made, timeless, and they feel like the kind of pieces you reach for again and again.
Quince works directly with ethical factories and cuts out the middlemen, so everything is priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. Their premium stretch denim starts at just $50, and they also have beautiful bedding, all kinds of stuff for your home and travel. Gretchen, I got Jack a set of luggage from Quince, and he loves it. Upgrade your everyday. Go to quince.com/Gretchen for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada and the UK too. That's QUINCE.com/Gretchen for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/Gretchen.
Okay, more responses from listeners. Rachel said, it's a listener hack that has had a significant impact on my health, to balance on one foot while brushing your teeth. This struck me as completely absurd when I heard it. Who would do that and why? But the idea stuck with me, and 3 days later, I decided to give it a try. And it turns out that balancing on one foot for just 4 minutes has significantly improved my sense of balance. I have been working with a physical therapist, and when she reassessed my balance, she was blown away by my progress. I have gone from barely being able to lift my foot off the ground to swinging my leg around while I brush and stand on one foot. It looks quite absurd, and my kids think I'm goofy, but to me, this is proof that significant progress can be made by making small changes in life. That's great. I love that one.
I love that. Adjacent to that, Gretchen, because I think a listener suggested it or somebody did. I have really been making a point of doing the thing where you sit down on the floor and stand up without using your hands.
I do too.
Yes, I have really leaned into that. And
Yes.
It's not easy, but I mean, I'm getting better and better at it.
Yes. It's funny. I have been doing the same thing too. And I get a little gold star hit when I do it.
Well, Gretchen, many people said that choose the bigger life. Your idea of choosing the bigger life has had a huge impact on them.
Yeah. Jessica writes, the idea of choosing the bigger life when you were getting a dog really stuck in my mind. A couple years later, a former coworker I had a great relationship with asked me out on a date. I was so torn on going. I really liked him, but I wasn't dating at the time, and putting myself out there felt risky and exhausting. I thought of choosing the bigger life and went on the date. 4 years later, I'm writing this to you while sitting next to him and our 2-year-old son. Truly a mindset shift that changed my life. That's so wonderful.
Yes, congratulations, Jessica. Claudette said, of all the great advice you gave us, what stayed with me the most was choose the bigger life. My family of 4 had lived in a townhouse for 16 years and we had outgrown it. 2 years ago, we looked at houses on the market for fun. They were more like, if I could afford it, this is the house I would buy. But then we started thinking more seriously about moving. One day we visit this house and it all came together. This was the perfect house for us and in our budget. I loved our neighborhood and neighbors. Moving away from the familiar was not an easy decision to make. And then I remembered you talking about choose the bigger life. So I did. We bought the house. I love this house. It is in a very nice neighborhood, but I still miss the old neighborhood. But we're much happier in this house where everyone has their own space. We are living a bigger life for sure.
Oh, that's great. And then Laura writes, currently listening to your podcast up in the middle of the night, feeding my 2-month-old daughter, who I might not have without the years of your persistently posed mantra, choose the bigger life. My husband and I spent several months trying to decide if we wanted children, feeling sure we could have a happy life whether we chose to have children or not. Choosing the bigger life for us looked like deciding to have a child, and now we can't imagine life without her. Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. I love that choose the bigger life resonates with so many people because it certainly resonates with me.
Well, and that they also understand it's like, what is the bigger life for you?
Yes.
It's not that it's necessarily the bigger life. It's a question that each of us has to decide for ourselves. Yes.
Cassie says, you once talked about ensuring you have meaningful hellos and goodbyes with the people you care about. My husband and I immediately adopted this. Every time we come or go, we always do so with a face-to-face exchange and a kiss. I really believe this has contributed to our strong, loving relationship in a positive way. We now have a daughter, and we have been sure to institute this habit with her as well as friends and family. We want those we love to always know that we are excited to see them arrive and care when it's time for them to go. Whenever asked to give a piece of relationship advice at a wedding or other event, this tidbit is always my go-to. It's an easy way to show our loved ones we care, and it hardly takes any time or effort at all.
I love this one because I often point to this as something that has so much bang for the buck and that you get so much benefit from really something that takes so little time and energy. I'm so happy because it's made a huge difference in my life as well.
And it's enjoyable.
Kiss
the people you love.
It is enjoyable. And it's just a good reminder what matters. Yes, absolutely. Virginia said, one of your sayings that has influenced me the most is a quest is more fun than a jaunt. A few years ago, my husband became interested in the Austrian-born Australian artist Bert Flugelman. He is known for his large geometric stainless steel sculptures, often in town squares or public places. There are Flugelman installations all over Australia. So now when we travel, we take part in our Flugelman quest. We see if there's a Flugelman near where we're visiting, then go and see it and take photos. We have since seen around 20 in various Australian towns and cities, including traveling hours out of our way to see an artwork, and some days driving or walking around a city all day, finding several sculptures. Some are famous and some are less known, and we had to do some serious research to find them. I think we have 2 left to see, and we are thinking about when we can take a trip to those particular towns. When we are done, I intend to make a photo book of our collection. It has definitely added an additional element of whimsy and fun to our lives. I love this. A quest is more fun than a jaunt. I love it.
Such a good idea. It reminds me of the many people who have a quest to go to every baseball stadium in the United States. That's a very common quest.
Yes, yes.
Maggie said, you mentioned that your father had said something to the effect of, if you think that maybe you should quit your job, you probably should have quit 6 months ago. That advice has been helpful in my own career and in talking with other people I know. Another piece of advice I come back to regularly is to pay attention to what makes you jealous. I am an upholder, and sometimes I get really wrapped up in following the rules and guidelines I've made for myself. So knowing when to quit and whether I'm neglecting something I really want is really helpful to me. I also really appreciate the nudge to celebrate Dogist. I have 2 dogs as well, and I have been aspiring to add some dog-friendly fun to my backyard. I bought a small agility course, want to create a digging area for my dog who likes to dig, and a scent garden for them. But I've been busy with my kids during their summer break and haven't gotten around to it. Dogist seems like the perfect time to pick a backyard project for each week to work on for my dogs. Well, and can I just say, Gretch, what great ideas for the backyard.
My daughters have been talking about wanting to get an agility course, and I'm like, is that really a thing? I guess they really are a thing. That's so fun. I want to explore all these.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, listeners, thank you so much. You are the reason that we have done this 600 times. You are the reason that this is so fun.
Yes, we have learned so much.
So much.
From listeners. We have shared so much. So hopefully we'll do another 600.
Oh, yeah. Keep it coming. It is so interesting for us to know what resonates with you. You may not have heard these ideas before, so it's fun to hear what other people have to say. Let us know on Instagram, Threads, TikTok, Facebook. Drop us an email at podcast@GretchenRubin.com. Or as always, you can go to the show notes. This is happiercast.com/600. And that is it for this episode of Happier. Thank you, listeners. We love doing this show.
We sure do. And thank you to our wonderful executive producer, Chuck Reed, and everyone at Lemonada.
And here's your rhyming reminder. If you like this show, tell others you know.
Until next week, I'm Elizabeth Kraft.
And I'm Gretchen Rubin. Thanks for joining us. Onward and upward. Elizabeth, I wish we could time travel back to the beginning when we were doing episode 1, episode 2. I don't think our minds could not have held the idea that we could have done this 600 times.
No, and Gretchen, you had the idea right from the start that you did not want to miss a week.
Yes.
I don't think you knew
that
you would be projecting that 10, hopefully 20 years into the future, but we have not missed a week.
We have not missed a week.
Booking.com is the easiest way from a day surrounded by noise to a stay surrounded by nature. That's nice. Go on, book it. It's easy. Booking.com. Booking.yeah.